Welcome to the Slowpoke Diecast Racing channel.
Welcome back, Slowpoke Diecast Racing fans. Today's video will be showcasing our Group 3 racers. And one driver will achieve something today that hasn't been done in SPDR yet. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and head to the bracket so we can check out our racers for today. Bottom left of your screen, your highlighted racers will be the ones competing, and the top 2 point leaders will move on to face our 2 winners above in Group 1. Let's go ahead and head to the garage, meet the drivers so we can get the racing going. Up first, our driver is Greasy in the Nissan Z Proto, weighing in at 30 grams from Campbell Creek Run Diecast Racing. Our next racer is Bolo Brown in a Honda CRX at 35 grams from Miniature Car Racing. Our third driver today is Puff, driving the Honda Civic Type R that's weighing at 38 grams from Puff's Racing. And our last driver is D-Man, driving the Mazda RX-7 at 35 grams from Team Beaverworks. Here we are in the tunnel. Get ready for the first race of the series. The drivers are lined up and they are ready to roll. So as normal, drivers, watch the lights. And here we go with the green light coming down to the first turn. We have Bolo Brown taking a lead over top of Greasy, coming through the tunnel to the last straightaway. Bolo, Greasy, D-Man, and then Puff. We had a clean race on that first run. That was actually really nice. Let's go ahead and head up to the replay camera, and then we'll take a look at our new scorecard and get everyone counted for. So you got Bolo getting the first place, Greasy getting the second, D-Man coming through, and Puff finishing out. Every racer getting a point. Wow, that is awesome to see. Let's go ahead and head right back up to the tunnel and get right into race number 2. Back up in the tunnel, each car has moved 1 position clockwise. Drivers, watch the lights. And there's a green light. We're coming down to the first turn. We have Greasy followed by Bolo and then Puff coming into the tunnel. What do we have coming out? We have Bolo and Puff. What happened to Greasy? Oh, and D-Man runs into the second car, sending those logs flying. It doesn't appear that he has too much damage. Hopefully he's just not too shooken up from that hit, since it was a direct straight impact. Let's go ahead and check out our replay cam and update the scorecard. You will see Bolo Brown coming down, taking the win again, followed by Puff, and then D-Man coming down and running right directly into that train, giving him a -1. But as you noticed, going into the tunnel, Greasy was first and did not make it out, so he will receive a 0. All right, let's head back up to the tunnel for race number 3. Here we are back in the tunnel. Each driver has moved 1 spot clockwise. Bolo has won the last 2 races. Let's see if he can make this a three-peat. Drivers, watch the lights. And here we go. We're coming down the first straightaway. We have D-Man in the lead. Right behind him is Bolo Brown, and then Puff coming into the tunnel. What do we have in the finish? Wow, Bolo Brown spun him out to take the lead and winning his 3rd race. We do not see, there he is. Puff got hung up in the tunnel and almost fell off of that cliff. Man, they'll have to go grab him and pull him back on. Let's go ahead and check out our replay cam and update the scorecard. Here you will see Bolo Brown spinning out D-Man to take his 3rd win, and we have Greasy coming in getting 3rd place. Unfortunately, Puff will get a 0, and he will not advance in any points on that. So you will see Bolo has 3 victories. Let's head back up to the tunnel and see if he can make it a 4th. We are back in the tunnel. It is the final race. Every car has moved to its last position. Drivers, watch the lights. And coming out of the straightaway, coming to the first turn, Bolo, of course, in the lead, followed by Greasy, losing control. Bolo's way out in front. Wow, Bolo with the big victory, followed by Greasy. D-Man does not finish, and neither does Puff. D-Man, I do not think, crossed that line before he hit the train. That is not going to be good. That should be a -1 for both of these racers. Wow, we'll have to check that out. That's a pretty crazy wreck there by D-Man. And unfortunately, Puff took what was left of that train and ran into it as well. Checking out our replay cam, you're going to see Bolo Brown flying down off of the railroad crossing for the victory, followed by Greasy. D-Man coming down backwards, hits the same crossing, but doesn't cross and hits head on with that train. Puff tried to slide sideways to stop, but couldn't, and also ran in that train. So what that shows you guys looking at our scorecard, here's our final numbers. Bolo Brown, the first ever to win every race and get a perfect score of 16. He will be moving on also with Greasy with 8 points. I want to thank Puff and D-Man for competing, and maybe we'll get to see you guys in the next one. Now going back to our bracket, you will see our Group 3 racers moving on, Greasy and Bolo Brown. They will be facing West Coastin and Kryptonite, but our next race will be our Group 4 racers. I want to thank you guys all for watching, and we will see you in the next one.